In the summer of 1975, I'll always remember a letter that I got from a friend. Further back in time, when I was a real little kid, I had two really good friends, Kim and Guy Hughes. Actually, my earliest memory is from playing with Kim and Guy in the front of our houses. They lived about 2 or 3 houses down from us. And my memory is that we were all on tricycles. And their tricycles didn't have a fender on the front wheel. And so what they could do is they could rotate their front wheel right around backwards so that the handlebars are backwards, and then you could pretend that you're a big truck, like a dump truck or something. Now I had a fender. I actually had a little bit fancier bike than they did because I had a fender. But then when you try to reverse it, the fender is in the way, and so your backwards wheel is cocked at a 30-degree angle, and I couldn't do it. I remember I was PO'd. That is my very earliest memory, and I played with Kim and Guy like almost every single day, rain or shine, since I was like 4 years old, and then we moved away. Now, that street that we lived on maybe was McDonald Street or something like that. Anyway, they moved out to Kipling, Saskatchewan, and my parents would take us kids out to Kipling to visit them, and we always had a great time. We would go to the Kipling dump and shoot rats with whatever gigantic shotguns we could get our hands on. Well, mostly the dads, but Kim and Guy always had guns. So to go out there and shoot rats, we would go, oh yeah, we'd have to set the dump on fire, and then the rats would run out away from the fire, and we'd shoot the rats as they're escaping. And then we kind of lost touch a little bit with them for many years. And then in the summer of 1975, my years, I got to make sure I ask the right, I get the right months here. Okay, the summer of 75, I got a letter from Kim, just out of the blue, and I'm talking paper letter. This is back in the day before email. And he wrote this really nice letter to me. Kim and Guy were brothers. Kim was the older one, and Guy was younger. And Kim described to me how he had, I'm getting the chronology a little mixed up here. I knew two things about him. He became a forest ranger, and then on his first day of work, they told him to clean out the public toilets, and then he said, no, I'm done being a forest ranger. Now I think that might have been after this letter, because remember, we graduated, oh wait a minute, he was a year older, which means that he was in the work world maybe for a year before me. Now it makes sense. Anyway, he wrote me this really nice letter saying, let's go on adventure, let's go camping, I want you to come along. And he just wanted to get away from home, get away from the job, and go on an adventure. Because he and me and Guy would always go on an adventure. That was like standard. As soon as we showed up, we'd have to go on an adventure of some kind. And I remember the very last line of his letter. He said, so, like he'd made his case for getting me to come along. He said, so grab your fishing rod and let's go. And that line stuck with me all these years. Anyway, I had to write him a letter saying I couldn't make it because I was getting married. That was a big life change for me, a big decision. And I often wondered what my life would have been like if I had grabbed my fishing rod and joined him. These are forks in the road that you think about, and years later you wonder about. Now, I've had a good life. I mean, I'm not complaining. But I just wonder what would have happened. I mean, that was a fork in the road where I could have changed the course of my life. probably, well, permanently. Whenever you change the course of your life, it's permanent. Anyway, I just wanted to let Kim know that that was an amazing letter, and I remember it to this day. Anyway, Kim, if you're watching, I hope you had a great life. Bye for now.